Awesome. Thank
Yay!
you. Hello.
Woo.
Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for
Yep,
joining
we're
me
good.
here today. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, welcome to Saturday morning yoga. I'm so excited to get into this nice vinyasa juicy flow with you today. Feel free to take it at your own pace if you'd like to tone it down a little bit throughout. Always feel free to come into a child's pose, take your own modifications, or even add your own flavor, some different postures or movement throughout the practice if you'd like. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get started in a nice, easy seated pose. Just making sure both sit bones are even on the ground, coming to take a nice, deep, long breath, lengthening the spine. And a slow exhale. Just beginning to turn the awareness inward as you lengthen the breath, deepening, filling the rib cage, filling the belly, filling your body with oxygen here. Relaxing through the shoulders, through the face, relaxing through the legs, feeling yourself connected, grounded on the floor beneath you. Coming to maybe set an intention for the practice, whatever it may be, and like sticking to presence just with here in my body, being aware of only my body, is the only thing that matters here in the practice. Taking another deep breath. On the next inhale, we're just going to gently open the arms, palms open wide. And on the exhale, we're going to cross our arms over our body, hands kind of grabbing opposite shoulder blades, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Inhale, expand and open through the arms, and exhale, crossing the arms maybe the other way here. Give yourself another hug. Inhale, expanding open with the palms. Exhale, releasing them down onto the knees. On the next inhale, we're just going to gently pull open and forward and up with the chest, maybe the chin lifts. Exhale, round through the spine, shoulder blades pulling away from each other, navel pulling back in towards the spine. On the inhale, we'll expand the navel out, open through the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, release the spine, our seated cat cows here. Feel free to move with your own breath. Releasing all the air out on the exhales and getting a nice deep breath in on the inhales. Pause for a moment in the next open chest. Feel the shoulder blades pulling back towards each other a little bit more. Spine lengthening, and then exhale, release it one more time. All the breath out. Holding the breath out, really rounding through the spine here, chin pulling towards the chest. And then we'll inhale, come back through center and just start to draw some circles with the chest, pulling the chest forward and exhale, rounding it out. Switching directions here. And then we'll come back through center. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand comes inside the right leg as the left fingertips reach for the right toes. Oh, stacking the shoulders, gazing up, getting a nice deep stretch here. And then we'll exhale, dip the left shoulder forward, kind of fold over this extended leg. Before inhaling, reaching back up, the left hand grounds behind the left hip, and we're just going to gently lift the hips up. Sweep the right arm back overhead. Exhale, release the hips down. You can fold this right leg back in, extend the left leg out. Inhale, extend long with the arms. Exhale, left forearm to the inside of the left leg as the right fingertips reach overhead, lengthening through the side body, reaching for the toes. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down, folding over this extended leg, lengthening. And then we'll inhale, come back up. The right hand plants right behind the right hip. And we just gently inhale, lift the hips, reach that left arm up. Exhale, release the hips down. We're going to extend both legs now out to the side, coming into a little dragonfly here. And you can just place your hands on your thighs, maybe or out in front of you. We're going to just draw some circles with the body out over the legs. Switching directions of the circle here, making these as big or as small as you'd like. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. If it already feels good, you can stay here. If you'd like to just gently walk the hands forward and kind of let the chest start falling towards the ground. Just stopping at a point that feels good for you. Trying to keep the toes and the knees pointed up here. Inhale, lengthen through the head. Exhale, feel yourself relax. Just being nice and relaxed, releasing through any points of tension, or maybe just becoming aware of the tension. We're going to inhale, press our body back up. Just gently bend at the knees, planting our feet, and just window shield wiping the knees side to side. Wonderful. When your knees point to the top of the mat, we're just going to make our way into a tabletop position. You can kind of, just come to stack hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. We're going to walk the hands out a little bit and get a nice length through the spine as we exhale. Allow the chest to melt towards the ground. You can either let the head fall, the forehead, or try to open the chest a little bit deeper in a melting heart puppy pose. Taking an inhale here, and then we'll exhale round through the spine, bending the elbows, coming right into a sphinx pose, or forearms planted, palms facing down. Inhale, lift the gaze, open the chest. Exhale, release the chest down. Hands come right under the shoulders. We'll inhale, press the shoulder blades together, extending through the elbows into a little cobra. You don't have to come all the way up if you're not really feeling ready yet. Squeeze those shoulder blades, gaze up. And then we'll exhale, bend through the knees, release into a child's pose, lengthen. Allow the spine to decompress for a moment. Inhaling, we're going to come back up into a tabletop position. Wonderful. From here, we're going to extend the right leg straight out. Or actually, I'm going to switch to my left leg just for demonstration purposes. We're going to do left leg, extending straight out. You can maybe press into the heel. Either way, just know which leg. Awesome. We're going to, from here, pivot the hips. So we're going to stack the hips on top of each other, pivot the toes to point towards the long side of that. We'll inhale, reach the left arm up. We're in a variation of a side plank here. Inhaling, we're going to try to lift the left leg off the ground, coming into like a half moon. And exhale, release it back down. So inhale, lift the left toes up. Exhale, left toes round. Inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, left toes down. Left toes up. We'll do one more here, down. Once more, up with the toes. See if you can hold it here. If you want to see if you can transition the gaze upward, make it a little bit more challenging. Or maybe you'd like to bend the back left knee. See if you can grab the left foot with your left hand and just kind of gently kick that foot into the hand, opening through the heart a little bit. Releasing the foot if you have it binded. And then release the left toes down. Extend the left arm overhead for a little side lengthen stretch. We'll inhale, reach up with the body. And then we'll exhale, release the left hand down the left leg as the right arm reaches over in our gate pose. We'll exhale, release the hands down. We're going to pivot on this knee and turn to face the extended leg. Coming into a little half split here. Make sure the hips are square towards the back of the mat now. Toes are flexed. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you can release the body if it feels okay. Always feel free to add some blocks or books or pillows underneath your hands if you need some extra support. Just taking another deep breath in this half split. We're going to inhale, bend the left knee, come forward into a low lunge. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, fingertips come down, and we just slide this left foot back into a tabletop. Awesome. We're going to do this on the other side now. So right leg extends for me. We're going to inhale, reach the right fingertips up as we stack our hips on top of each other. In our variation of a side plank and assisted side plank. We're going to get ready here. Maybe you flex the left toes or point them, whatever helps you find stability. We're going to inhale, lift the right toes up and release them down. Feeling really nice and strong through our obliques and side of our leg here. Lift them up and down, up and down. Inhale, up, down. Once more, we lift it up and hold here. You can just stay here, finding your balance. Or if you'd like, you can just bend the back knee. See if your right hand can grab right foot and gently open, pulling that foot away from you into the hand. Releasing the foot if you were able to grab it. We're going to release the toes down here. Extend the right arm overhead, lengthen to the side. And then we'll inhale, pull up with the body, keeping straight through those back right leg. We're going to just release the right fingertips down, left fingertips overhead. Gaze up. We'll exhale, release the fingertips down. We're going to pivot onto the knee and come to face the extended leg here in a half split. Hips are square, knee is straight as possible, but also feel free to bend it if it's a little bit tight. We'll exhale, release into our half split. Taking a nice deep breath. On the inhales, feeling yourself lengthen. On the exhales, feeling yourself fold a little bit deeper. We'll inhale, come forward, bending the front knee, keeping those hips really nice and low. We're in a low lunge. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, plant the fingertips. We'll slide this right foot back into a tabletop. From here, we keep our hands a little bit walked forward. We're going to tuck the back toes and inhale, lift the hips into our downward facing dog. Feel free to readjust your positioning, like widening your feet and hands away from each other if you need. Feel free to pedal the feet, really reaching one heel into the ground and then the other one. Really reaching those hips nice and high, taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Wonderful, keeping a nice open chest here. We're just going to begin to warm up the body with some sun salutations. So we'll begin with the sun salutation A. So we'll inhale. We're going to actually lift the heels, bend the knees, flow our way. Well, let's just start with a step, maybe a walk to the top of the mat to our hands, releasing knees bent a little bit into a little dangling pose. Release the neck. We'll inhale around the spine all the way up to standing, reaching arms overhead. And exhale, hands by our side. Just give ourselves a moment to adjust here. And it's Tadasana, standing nice and tall, confident, strong, beautiful. We're going to inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, we'll halfway lengthen, hands to shins. Lengthen straight through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step it back into our plank. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you drop knees, chest, chin. Maybe you drop knees. Or maybe you want to go right into chaturanga, just arms by your side, no matter what. Inhale, open the chest. Maybe cobra, just with your thighs planted, or maybe upward dog with those thighs lifted. And we'll exhale, release into a downward facing dog. Like I said, take it at your own pace. Take it however you're feeling. It's early in the morning, so if you need to take it nice and easy, then definitely do. We're going to inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Step to the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release it down, bending the knees. We're going to inhale around all the way up to standing arms. Come overhead. Exhale by your side. Wonderful. Tucking the pelvis, making sure the shoulders are away from the ears. We're going to bring the big toes together, the heels apart, taking a sun salutation B this time. We're going to inhale, sit the hips down, open the chest, keeping our arms nice and straight by our ears. Sit those hips as low as you can. Keep the chest nice and open. Chair pose. Inhale, nice and deep. On the exhale, we're going to straighten through the legs. And exhale, try to fold with a straight spine forward. If you need to bend the knees, feel free. We'll inhale, lengthen, find some length through the spine. Halfway lift. Exhale, release nice and deep into a forward fold. Planting the hands, we'll step it back to our plank. Inhaling, We're going to exhale, lower to the ground, however you like. Inhale, press forward and open with the chest. Exhale, we'll lift the hips, coming back into our downward facing dog. Now I'm going to add a three-legged dog here to our sun salutation B. So we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up with nice square hips down to the ground. Point the toes. We're going to exhale, bring that knee in towards the chest, plant the foot in between the hands. We're going to try to ground through the back heel, coming into a warrior one. So the toes point 45 degrees, hips are square. And a 90-degree bend through that front knee. Inhale with the open chest. Exhale, we'll plant the hands to frame the foot. We're going to sweep this right leg all the way back and up into another three-legged dog. Bending the knee, maybe you stack the hips, just drawing that right foot down towards the glute. We'll square the hips out and exhale, release the foot down. Wonderful. Like I said, it's a little variation of a sun salute B. It's not exactly it. We're going to inhale, lift the left toes up into a three-legged dog with square hips. Straight through that knee. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll bring the knee in towards the chest, plant the left foot in between the hands. The back heel grounds so the toes point 45 degrees. It's a little bit of a challenging pose, honestly. And if you have maybe wider hips in our warrior one, you might want to separate the feet a little further apart from each other. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up here in a warrior one, getting nice and low through that front left knee. Exhale, we release the hands down to frame the foot. We're going to swing this left foot all the way back and up into a three-legged dog. Maybe bend the knee, stack the hips, let that foot drop behind you. And then we'll exhale, square the hips out and release the left foot down. Flowing it out here. We'll inhale, come into a plank. Exhale, lower ourselves down. Once more, inhale, open the chest, really squeeze the glutes. Extend straight through those elbows if you can. Exhale, push the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the heels, bending the knees. We're just gonna come up, step back up into our positioning for chair pose, big toes together, heels apart. We'll exhale, sit the hips down, pull the arms up. We're in a chair. Really gazing that chest forward. And then we'll inhale, exhale, stand up, release the arms by the side. Just give yourself a breath here in our Tadasana mountain pose. Standing nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and go through our little standing sequence from here. So just coming to shift your weight onto your right foot. We're going to inhale, lift the left knee up and come into a standing pigeon with this left ankle stacked over the right knee. We're going to sit the hips down. Our hands come in prayer by our heart to help us find a little bit more stability here. Try to keep a nice, long, straight spine. Let that left knee fall open. From here, our right hand is going to come to the left foot that is rested on top of our thigh. We're going to inhale, or it can come to the right knee, depending on how comfortable you feel with your big hand to big toe pose. We're going to extend straight through the right standing leg, and then try to extend straight through this left leg and kind of come into a little twist here. If you can, gaze over the back left fingertips. And like I said, a modification would be to have the knee bent, holding the knee. Perfect. From here, if you'd like, we're going to reach the left hand forward to grab the foot and see if you can pull it up towards your forehead. I had to come out for a moment. No worries. See if you have to come out standing nice and tall. Just see if you can pull that foot up towards you. And then we're going to gently stand, press this leg all the way back behind us as we gently find our high lunge. So not really sweeping through a warrior three, just stepping kind of right back into a high lunge. We'll reach the arms up, extend nice and straight through that back leg, get nice and low through the front knee. We'll inhale, open the chest, and then we'll exhale, release the back knee down, plant the hands, push back our hips, straighten through the front leg, and release the chest into half split. Wonderful. Taking a breath here. We'll inhale, come forward with the hips into a low lunge. We're going to bring the right hand inside of the right foot, kind of heel toe the foot away from you. We're going to push the right knee away from us. Maybe that edge of the foot, you roll the foot onto the edge. It's right side. Get nice and deep with the hips in this lizard pose here. If you'd like to kind of twist the shoulders to face open. We're going to exhale, release the lizard, ground that foot. Planting both hands inside the foot. We're going to pivot the back toes so that they point all the way up. We're coming into our side lunge skandasana here. So we sit the hips nice and low towards the right heel, straightening through the left leg. You can keep the hands grounded or maybe try to bring them up towards your heart. The right toes stay pointing in a diagonal. From here, we're going to really use the strength of our right leg to press us up into our warrior two, bending through the left knee, straightening through the right leg. We bring our arms up and extend them parallel to the ground, warrior two. Tucking the pelvis here, getting nice and low through the front knee. We're going to inhale, bend the elbows. We're just going to add some cactus movement here. We're going to inhale, exhale. You can open the shoulder blades, open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, pull the forearms in towards each other. Inhale, open. Exhale, towards each other, kind of closing the heart. Inhale, opening. Exhale, together. Inhale, open. We'll extend the arms back out. We're going to release the left forearm onto the left knee, reach the right fingertips overhead. You could stay here in this side angle, or if you'd like, you can release the left fingertips inside of the left leg to go a little bit deeper. If you'd like, you could stay here, literally already very deep stretch. Or you could try to take a bind, bringing that right extended arm behind the back, behind your thigh. And then you reach the left fingertips underneath the thigh to grab the right fingertips. And from here, you try to open the chest, open the shoulders, gaze up. Or release the fingertips if you're in a bind. We're going to inhale, reach our body back up into our warrior two. We'll extend straight through the left toe, left knee. And inhale, reach the left fingertips behind us. From here, we'll inhale, reach forward in our triangle trikonasana pose, extending long through the side body, stacking shoulders, stacking hips, and trying not to put too much weight on that left front hand. We're going to exhale, release the right fingertips down. The left toes are pivoting to face the long side of the mat. And we release into a wide-legged forward fold, maybe pointing those toes a little bit towards each other, to help protect the knees. Exhale, release. You can inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release a few times just to find a little movement, maybe move the hips a little bit. We're going to inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, we're going to sit back down into our side lunge. So point the right toes towards the top right corner or left corner, I guess. And we'll sit the hips down onto the heel, coming back into our Skandasana. Inhale, lengthen, and then we'll exhale, plant the hands, pivot the hips down to the ground. Again, facing the front of the mat. We'll frame the foot in between the hands in a low lunge, releasing the back toes here. We're just going to inhale, come up high in our low lunge, maybe place the hands on the knees for a second. Really just giving those hips the space over time to release. And open, stretch. We're going to exhale, release the hands to frame the foot, and we'll push the hips back straight and through the right leg. We're once again coming into a half split because I thought today maybe we can just start to slide a little bit into our monkey pose or splits pose, even if we can't go down the whole way, just to start practicing and working on those muscles there, really the back thigh and front hamstring. So perfect. From here, we're in our half splits. You can inhale, lengthen through the spine. We're going to gently just start sliding the heel forward, or you can also start moving the back knee back. We're going to be really gentle here, really slow. And once you've reached your limit and, just trust yourself to know your limit, I guess, just pause there. Again, you can use books, blocks, pillows underneath your hands to help you sit up if you'd like. Just go as far as you feel like. We're just trying to keep our knee pointed down so that our hips stay square to the mat. So back knees pointed down, the front knees pointed up. So our hips are square, just opening up into a little bit of a split here. Our splits pose. Perfect. If you can sit all the way down, just sitting up nice and tall if you can. We're going to take another deep breath here. We'll inhale, start to pull the heel and the knee back together, just slowly kind of coming back into our half split here. Once you've reached the half split, we'll lift off the back knee, coming high onto those left back toes, and sweep this right leg back and up into a three-legged dog. If you like, you can bend the knee and do some circles here. Maybe extend it straight, bend it, add some movement, just whatever feels good after that deep stretch. We're going to take a flow here in between. Inhale, rounding into our plank. We'll exhale, gaze forward, lower to the ground. Inhale, open the chest for upward dog cobra. We'll exhale, release the hips back, downward dog. Again, feel free to come into also a child's pose at any point throughout the practice. If you'd like a breather, just a moment to rest. We're going to go to the top of the mat for the other side. From here, we'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step, or you can even float your feet to your hands, releasing into a forward fold here. We'll inhale, bend through the knees, round our spine all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, release. Wonderful. From here, we're going to bring our weight into our left foot. And we'll inhale, lift the right knee up, the right ankle, foot plants on that lower left thigh, and you open the knee out. So you kind of make this figure four with your legs here, like, yeah. We sit the hips down like we're in a standing pigeon, because that's what we're in. We're going to bring our hands in prayer, bring them down to our heart center, sit the hips nice and low. Try to keep a straight spine here. The left hand is going to come to the right foot or the right knee, and we're going to straighten through the standing leg as we extend straight out with the right leg. Taking a little twist here, the right fingertips point back towards the mat. We're going to go ahead and bring the right hand forward and see if we can't pull that right leg up towards us, keeping it nice and straight before releasing the foot down, flexing the foot and sweeping this leg back. We're bending into that standing leg as we gently come into a high lunge. So no worries if you fell out or anything like that. Just come into a high lunge here. We're going to reach really high with the fingertips open the chest. And then we'll exhale, release the back knee down straight and through the front knee. And allow the chest to fold over the extended leg in a half split. Getting a nice release through that hamstring. From here, we're going to inhale, come forward, bringing the left hand inside of the left foot. And we're just going to gently push this left knee away from us, rolling the left foot onto its outer edge, opening the chest up towards the sky, sinking our hips nice and low in this lizard. I know I didn't give many variations of this last time, but there's lots of variations here. Take a nice deep breath and feel free to express whatever you'd like. We're going to release the left hand now, come to ground that left foot. We're going to pivot our hips down towards the ground, our back toes turn to point upwards. We're coming into our low lunge skandasana, sitting up nice and tall, flexing the toes if you want like a little bit of a deeper stretch. Perfect. From here, we're going to use all of the strength of our back left leg here to press our body up. We're going to bend through the right knee, bring our arms up and parallel to the ground. We come into our warrior two. Just going to readjust. We'll inhale, bend the elbows. We're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the chest, and exhale, bring the elbows together, pulling those shoulder blades away from each other, rounding the spine. Inhale, open through the chest with our cactus arms, palms facing forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. We'll inhale, open, extend through the elbows. The right elbows now bends and lands on the right knee in front of you, and we reach the left fingertips overhead into a side angle, getting nice and low with that right knee, with the hips. If you'd like, you can bring the right hand inside of the right foot, going a little bit deeper. And then the third variation, maybe taking the left hand back behind the thigh and then taking the right fingertips underneath to bind with the hand, opening the chest up here, gazing up. We'll release the fingertips. We're going to pull the body all the way back up into our warrior two. We'll straighten through the right leg. Inhale, reach the right fingertips back behind us. Exhale, come forward. Our body folds over this extended leg, keeping our shoulders stacked on top of each other and our hips. We're in a Trikonasana, triangle pose. Gazing up. We'll exhale, release the left fingertips down. The right toes pivot to face the long side of the mat. Maybe pigeon toeing the feet a little bit towards each other. And exhale, releasing into a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe reaching the hands behind you if that feels okay. Just kind of reaching your head, the top of the head down to the ground. Adding any movement if you like here. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. We'll exhale, bend through the left knee, pointing those toes towards the right top corner of the mat. We'll sit the hips back down into our Skandasana side lunge. Planting the hands, turning the hips down, turning to face the front of the mat, keeping that back knee grounded. Our hands come to frame the foot. We inhale, sit up, maybe our hands coming to our knees into our low lunge, getting a nice deep release of the hips. Our hands come to frame the foot, and we'll once again exhale, push the hips back, straightening through the front left knee here, coming into a half split, flexing those toes for a deeper stretch. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, releasing. From here, we're going to inhale, halfway lift through the body, and you can either do a little bit of both or start just moving the heel forward and or the back knee backwards. We're going to open up here into our monkey pose, our splits. It's a very, very advanced pose, so no worries if you can't go too far. Feel free to use some support under the hands. And you don't need to go very far, just as far as feels good, and just stay there. We're going to take a few breaths. If you're all the way down on the ground, try to really make sure the hips are squared off by making sure that back knee is pointing down, and sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale and exhale it out. We'll come to lift the hips, start dragging the heel and shuffling the knee back towards each other, back into our half splits. Once you come there, we're going to come up to straighten the back knee, planting those hands to frame the front foot. We're going to come up high onto the back toes so that we can sweep this left leg all the way back and up into a three-legged dog. If you'd like, you can bend the knee and draw some circles, whatever movement you like here, just to kind of shake out that deep stretch. Coming back into a downward dog whenever you feel ready. Wonderful. Taking a nice deep breath in this downward dog, filling the belly. And giving yourself a nice long exhale out. We're going to come to bend the knees, release them on the ground, release the toes. Push the hips back into a child's pose. Lengthening through the spine, taking a nice deep breath here. So real quick, check it in. Okay. I went pretty fast. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna just make our way to our back. So just gently rounding the spine all the way down to the ground. You can pull the knees in towards the chest. Maybe do a little rock side to side. We're going to extend the legs up nice and straight. Just kind of pull them in towards each other for a little bit last hamstring stretch here. We're going to gently open the feet away from each other, opening the hips. We're going to bend the knees, bring the big toes towards each other as our hands come to grab the outsides of the feet, and we open the feet away from each other now into a happy baby. Maybe rock on your spine side to side. Slowing down the breath. We're going to release the feet now. Wonderful. Going to plant the feet on the ground here. We're just going to just gently jump our hips to the left and then let our knees fall to the right, opening the left arm out to the side, or maybe both arms out, and maybe bringing your gaze over to the left, allowing both shoulders to plant here. We're taking a nice deep spinal twist, breathing into the belly. We'll inhale, bring the knees back through center, planting them on the ground. Just make sure you're through center. We're going to jump the knees to the, we're going to jump the hips to the right and allow the knees to fall to the left here. Expanding through both arms here, making sure both shoulder blades are planted and gazing over to the right. Deepening the breaths, breathing into the belly. We'll inhale, come back through center. We're going to hug our knees into our chest, pull our forehead up towards our knees, give ourselves a nice big tight hug. Engage, engage, engage. And then we'll exhale, release, extending straight through the knees, allowing the feet to be relaxed out to the side, palms facing up, arms by your side. Feel free to take up space here. Welcoming a nice deep breath and slow exhale, releasing yourself into our final resting posture, Shavasana, or corpse pose. Releasing any control of the breath or control of the thoughts. Releasing tension to the face, to the fingertips. Just allowing the whole body feel relaxed, grounded, like you're melting into the ground. You can stay much longer in the Shavasana. I definitely recommend it. Giving yourself the time to integrate your practice and allow yourself the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and start moving out of this posture to close off. Just welcoming a nice deep breath to fill the belly, fill the rib cage, fill the lungs. And exhale, open mouth, let it all go. Moving the fingers and toes. And inhale, lengthening through the body, giving yourself a nice full body stretch. Whenever you're ready, rolling onto either side into a nice fetal position before pushing your way back up into an easy seated pose. Wonderful. I'm just going to take one more deep breath here. Inhaling, reaching arms overhead, bringing palms together, and exhale, hands to heart center. I wish you all an amazing day today. Hope you know that you can always come back to this peace and center whenever you need. It's all right there in your breath. And thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.